Water is known as a universal solvent because it dissolves most of the substances. What property of water enables it to dissolve most of the substances? Well, the chemical formula of water is H2O. We know that electronegativity is the tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. In water, oxygen has more electronegativity. That is, it tends to attract the shared pair of electrons more towards itself. As it attracts the electrons more towards itself, oxygen becomes slightly negative. As now the electrons are more towards oxygen, the two hydrogen atoms, they become slightly positive. So this end becomes slightly positive, and this end, that is the oxygen end, it becomes slightly negative. So now there is charge separation in the water molecule. So when we dissolve anything in water, we take a lump of salt and we put it in water. As soon as we add it in water, we see that it starts dissociating. Let's see how this happens. So salt is NaCl. It is an ionic compound. In ionic compounds, there is formation of ions. So we have Na plus, it gives one electron to chlorine. So it becomes Na plus, and chlorine now has one extra electron. So it becomes Cl minus. So this is salt, the formula of salt, which is NaCl. Now when we add it in water, we know that in water, the oxygen end is slightly negative and the hydrogen end is slightly positive. So the oxygen molecules, they tend to attract the positive end, that is Na plus, and hydrogen end, which is positive, it tends to attract the negative Cl minus. So Na plus and Cl minus separate out. This happens for the entire lump of salt, the entire NaCl crystal. As we add it in water, the positive hydrogen atoms of water, they attract the negative Cl minus, and the negative oxygen, they attract the positive Na plus. And so this is how the entire lump of salt dissociates. The charge separation in water molecules, they tend to separate the Na plus and Cl minus. This is the reason why this property of water, that is H2O, in which oxygen is slightly more electronegative than hydrogen, oxygen gets a slightly negative charge, hydrogen atoms, they get a slightly positive charge. This makes water a universal solvent. And this is the reason why it is difficult to find pure water in nature. Because water tends to dissolve most of the substances, it is considered to be a universal solvent. So it is very difficult to find absolutely pure water in nature. Now, in physics, you must have studied that electricity flows when we have a closed circuit. That is, in this case, we have a battery, we have a switch, and we connect it to a bulb. Now, when this circuit is complete, that is, there is a closed loop, we see that the bulb glows. So electricity flows when there is a complete, that is a closed circuit. Conductors are those substances which conduct or which allow the passage of electricity. For example, human body. When a person gets electric shock, electricity flows through the human body. So human body is also a conductor. Most of the metals like copper, aluminium, they are all conductors. Similarly, insulators are the substances which do not allow the conduction of electricity. For example, air, non-metals, we have wood, etc. These substances which do not allow the passage of electricity are considered to be insulators. Let's see if pure water is a conductor, that is, whether it allows the passage of electricity or not. So we take this experimental setup. We take pure water and two rods are connected to the switch. This is connected to a bulb. The bulb will only glow when there is a complete circuit. That is, when the circuit is a closed loop. So let's see whether pure water allows the conduction of electricity. As the switch is switched on, we see that the bulb does not glow. That is, water is not allowing the passage of electricity. So now, if we touch the two rods, we see that the bulb glows. That is, on touching the two rods, the circuit is complete and so the bulb glows. But when the rods are moved away, on its own, pure water does not allow the passage of electricity. Let's add some salt to water. So you see that the bulb glows. This means that on adding salt to water, the circuit becomes a closed circuit. So the bulb glows on its own. This means that pure water is not a conductor of electricity. Only when some impurity like salt is added to water, it allows the passage of electricity. How this process is carried on, we'll study later. But for now, remember that pure water is a non-conductor of electricity. Pure water is a good conductor of electricity. Is it true or false? We know that pure water does not allow the passage of electricity. So it is not a good conductor of electricity. The pure water on its own is a non-conductor of electricity. Only when some impurity like salt is added to it, it allows the passage of electricity.